Questions are great. Questions help us to course correct, help us to understand where we are on a particular journey. Questions can serve sometimes as almost like a mile marker. You know, the mile marker, they like say, like when we were growing up, one of the traditional trips that we did was drive from home, which was in St. Petersburg, Florida, to Orlando, where a number of my dad's siblings lived. We would drive up there and see our aunts, uncles, cousins. There's a ton of them. My dad's number 12 or 14, so we have a big family. But those mile markers on the road would let you know, how you're progressing. And then the signs on the road would let you know which direction you were heading in. If you're going west on I-4 from Tampa to Orlando, you knew you were going in that direction because the signs would let you know that this is where you're going and what state interstate you're on. Questions serve as that for us in life. And today's quote from Ayn Rand, A-Y-N Rand, is actually in the form of a question. And so the question is, or the quote rather is, the question isn't who's going to let me, rather, it's who's going to stop me. Oh, come on, let that permeate your spirit. Let that seep into every aspect of your being today. There's something you have been waiting for. I'm skipping to the end of my notes, but there's something you have been waiting for. You've been waiting for an opportunity for. And you've been asking this question, who's going to let me? Where's my in? Where's my opportunity? Who's going to see in me greatness and pluck me from obscurity? You've been waiting for that to happen. And Ayn Rand is saying you need to shift your question from who's going to let me to who's going to stop me.
Somebody stop me.
Oh my gosh. See, who's going to let me is kind of there's a barrier. Like the mindset of who's going to let me says there's a barrier. I need assistance. It's out of my control. I need permission. Life is unfair. Why can't I get picked? He or she already got a turn. I'm at the mercy of whatever happens to me in life. It's like you sit and you look at others and you recognize things are happening for them and you attribute the opportunities that have come to them to someone seeing in them greatness and giving them a chance. Hey, I pick you, Kirk. I pick you, Florence. I pick you, Stratford. I pick you, K-Walk Comedy. I pick you, Retro Philosophy. I pick you. And because you're picked, you get these opportunities. That's the mindset of who's going to let me. Well, I really hope I can, I'm doing this, but I'm not certain what's going to happen. I really hope that this thing kind of. Now, Ayn Rand is asking us, is challenging us to shift the question today from who's going to let me to who's going to stop me, because the who's going to stop me mindset says this thing is going to happen.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. The who's going to stop me mindset says, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. You're just new to me. You haven't tasted of my superpower, of what I can do yet. And once you do, you be convinced I'm not auditioning for the spot. I'm taking it. Who's going to stop me says, I got next. You get to the basketball court, you know what I mean? And it's like, yo, who's playing right now? I don't even care. I got next. That kind of swagger, that kind of confidence, that kind of belief that says, I got this. Who's going to stop me says, my drive and talent are my permission. My drive and talent are my permission. My drive and my talent are my permission. Who's going to stop me mindset says, fam, I am inevitable. Oh gosh, all that God has said of me, it will happen because it's mine.
It's mine.
You can't take it. You can't add to it. My drive, my talent, my passion, what I do in the lab, how I'm fine tuning, how I'm course correcting, how I'm working on my skill set, how I'm honing my craft. You can't stop this. This thing is inevitable.
It's inevitable.
I got a chance to be a guest lecturer for a college communication class, maybe about a month or so ago. I always love when this happens. People always ask me to come and do these types of things because they feel like, oh yeah, let me get it. I went in there and completely upended this dude's class. I apologized to him afterwards, but it is what it is. I talked to them about different things, in terms of content creation, some of the stuff that I've done. They asked me, the normal obligatory questions. I could tell pretty much that nobody really in the class wanted me there. The teacher was enamored with what I do, but the students weren't. And so I was only answering the teacher's questions from the perspective of I'm trying to get to these students' questions. And as I began to ask them a few questions, hey, what do you like doing? One person said, I want to be, what's the term? A sports analyst. Another person said, I want to be a column writer. Another one wanted to be a singer. I was like, okay, these are the types of things you want to do. And I'm like, okay, so have you considered content creation? Because that's what I am. I'm a content creator. And they're like, they couldn't see the line. And so I left them there because I was like, I'll set it up slightly differently. Sometimes you gotta set the stage for what you're about to do. I said, I'm going to set them up slightly differently. So I was just waiting for one of them to ask a question. And yeah, so one of them finally, because the teacher turned it over to them. Do you have any questions for our guest? And one of them gave the obligatory, what advice would you give us? That's kind of, we're in college. You're not. What advice would you give us? Tell us your 2-second spiel so we can get out of here and get on to the next class. And so I looked that kid dead in the eye and I said, don't wait for opportunity. Create your own. If you're not going to invest in you, no one else will. He sat up straight in his chair and began looking right back at me, recognizing that this is a moment. The other kids starting to kind of recognize, like, wait a minute, what's going on right now? And he's like, what do you mean? Help me understand. How do I create my own opportunity? I want to be a sports analyst. I was like, so start analyzing sports now. Tell me where can I find you analyzing sports? Well, I talk about it with my friends here and there and there. I said, do you have a podcast? Do you have a live show? Why are you waiting? If you believe I said, there's no skill set that they're going to teach you in college that's going to give you a different perspective on sports. Do you know the stats? Yes. Do you know them better than I know them better than anybody I see watching on TV? I said, then take your opportunity. Don't wait for it. Create your own. The girl who wanted to be a columnist was like, whoa. What should I do? What should I do? I was like, have you ever heard of Medium? She says, no, never heard of it. I said, that's your problem. I'm not even going to explain it to you. You don't want success. You're waiting to be told this is the path. Get up and claim that thing for yourself. Create your own opportunity. I started to name off people. I said, have you ever heard of Kev on Stage? Kev on Stage was not given the opportunity to be a comedian. My man said, I'm taking it to the straights. I know I have talent. Liza Koshy is somebody that I followed on YouTube long before. She wanted to be an actor. She wanted to host shows. Now she's hosting the New Year's Eve Bash in New York City. Liza Koshy from YouTube. Marquise Brownlee, the number one tech reviewer on the planet, has literally built a multi-billion-dollar business. He didn't wait for an opportunity. 16 years old in his room upstairs in his parents' house, reviewing tech with a camcorder camera and posting those videos to YouTube. He didn't wait for the opportunity. Issa Rae, oh gosh, Insecure, picked up by HBO. That joint was a YouTube series. She bet on herself. Kelante Gavin, one of my favorite gospel singers. Your boy was singing on Facebook with oh gosh, he took a chance on himself. These guys didn't have a mentality that said, who's gonna let me? No, their mentality said, I am inevitable.
I am inevitable.
My drive and my talent and my permission. I don't care who's on the court right now. I got next. Every now and again, the morning motivation session cannot be fluff. I can't be happy with you. I can't pander. Somebody needed a swift kick today. Shift your mindset. There's something you know you should be doing, and you've been waiting for someone to let you do it. And I challenge you today to shift the question to who's going to stop me and create the opportunity for yourself. Who's going to stop me? Nobody told me what the doors were going to be when I started doing content creation. You know, somebody said to me, it's like that Friday night show that you have where hundreds of people are watching. Who did you talk to? Somebody literally asked me this question. Who gave you permission to start that show? Somebody literally asked me that question. Like, who did you go through? What was the process you went through to start that platform, to do that thing? I looked at them, I was like, I didn't ask for permission. I just seized the opportunity for myself. She couldn't believe it. I mean, I'm looking at this young lady, and she could not believe that there was no permission necessary. My drive, my talent, my hustle are my permission. You got to shift your mindset. It's not about who's going to let you. And let me be clear, there are going to be those who see the moving train and decide to jump on. When StreamYard saw my content, they saw a moving train and decided to jump on. Hey, we want you to create content for us. When EV saw my content, they saw a moving train and they decided to jump on. Hey, we want you to create content for us. Yes, somebody's going to see your genius and decide to invest because you've already decided to invest in you. But that initial kernel, it's not going to always come from somebody plucking you from obscurity. Oh man, I just wish somebody would see me and recognize my greatness. I'm gonna repeat this thing and I'm gonna get out your way. I'm gonna repeat this thing, I'm gonna get out your way. Cause this thing is a fire shut up in me today. I'm gonna repeat this, joint, and get out of your way. There is something you know you should be doing, and you've been waiting for someone to let you do it. I challenge you today to shift from a mindset that says, who's going to let me, to a mindset that says, who's gonna stop me? I told you my drive and my talent are my permission. Do you have drive? Do you have talent? Have you been in the lab? Are you honing your skill sets? Are you getting better every day? Are you making discoveries in your pursuit of greater and more and better? Are you only comparing yourself to yesterday's version of you? Then you have something. Then you have something. And my challenge for you today is stop waiting for it. Create the opportunity for yourself. And that, my friends, is your morning motivation.